afternoon I'm going to show you how to create a mini stamp using different techniques to print over the top, to overprint over your Sharpie or your felt tip or your biro drawings that you've started on your shirt already, to add extra layer, texture and pattern development onto your project. There's lots of different ways that you can make stamps. You could use string, which you can use PVA glue or a Pritt stick to glue down onto a piece of cardboard. Again, look at your reference pictures, your mood board that you've been using for the project as your inspiration. That can be a very, very quick way. PVA does work best on this, PVA glue, because it soaks into the string and makes it set really well so that you can use it over and over again. You need to be careful not to cross over the string, so it has to be one layer flat, one layer depth all the way across, otherwise you'll only print the highest part, which won't give you a whole design. So make sure it's all flat and there's no crossover bits for that, and that can give you a really nice effect. Each of the techniques that I'm showing you does give a different technique or different effect. These are quite crude techniques as we're doing these at home, but they do add lots of nice texture to the work, so it can add another element to your print design. Another way you can do it is to just use cardboard layers. Again, the same technique where you use PVA glue or Pritt stick underneath, and then cut out your shapes from corrugated cardboard and stick them down, let them all dry before you try printing on them. Again, don't put two layers over the top of each other, it has to be a single layer to be able to print with it. Here's one that I started yesterday, and as you can see, it just develops a pattern a little bit. You can change your colours with the paint that you use. You can use any paint you have at home. I've got a variety of acrylic paints, poster paints. Acrylic paints are the best. You can buy them in little tubes online, or you might have some in your cupboard. Acrylic paints are the best because they're opaque, you can't really see through them, so they block out some of the colour. Having said that, in the example you can see through, particularly the green, slightly, so it won't be 100% opaque. I would suggest that you use something underneath when you're printing. Oh, the other thing you might want to use at home is some foam. I have some old foam left from crafting, so you might want to cut out some shapes, and you can actually use a foam print, cut your stamps out and actually create it onto the back of the cardboard as well, and use foam in that way, or you might have some at home, sticky foam at home as well for that. I'm going to demonstrate the cardboard one because I think that's what most people will have at home, and I'm going to overprint a section that I have already drawn on. Again, having something underneath is a very good idea, and make sure the work is nice and flat, you haven't got folded fabric underneath. So just lay it out nice and flat. I'm going to print over with a nice simple green, I think, probably, maybe a dark green, and I'm just going to squidge a little bit onto each, just for speed. You don't have to wash up a plate. Okay. You don't want to put loads and loads of paint on because it will sort of squidge around the edges, just enough that you cover the layer that you're going to print with. If you have got a little bit too much, you can just wipe it on a kitchen roll or a bit of tea towel. Okay. It will dry reasonably quickly, so if you've got quite a complicated design, you might need to go over it again just before you print. That's a little tip. And it will give you quite a rough kind of textured look. We're not going for a slick graphic look on this. We're adding another texture, another layer to develop our print, so actually it never comes out quite as neat as you think it's going to. So when you've got your coverage of your paint or your acrylic paint, you're then going to very carefully lean over this side. I'd work from left to right if you're going to print it a couple of times, or top from bottom, so you don't lean over your work. I'm going to do a little print here, and then you try and press nice and easily so that you've got equal pressure. Don't press over the edges, etc. Give it a nice rub and nice press, and then you lift up for that. Okay. And you can see there's actually quite a nice texture to that print, that creates a bit more interest, a bit more texture for that. You can then print it again. If you wish to do a different colour, or these are different colours, of course you can. I would just get a bit of kitchen roll and just wipe off the paint so we don't get it too wet. I wouldn't wash it in the sink, let it dry and then just print with it again. Again, we're going for quite a textured look, so I haven't put too much print on, and I'm going to press it next to it like that. I'm going to keep my colours the same for ease of printing. Okay, and again, you can see I've got some quite nice textured lines. They're nearly lines going the other way where you can see the corrugated cardboard ridges. So there you go, there's how to do some printing on your shirt pattern that you've already started drawing to develop your pattern further.